Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today, our theme is the interstitial fluid flow that goes through the space between the cells. And I'll talk a little bit about that first. It also is going to be about the meridians. And so we're turning to Qigong for some practices that stimulate the meridians, starting out with some warm-ups from the yoga side of things. So the interstitial fluid flows through what's known as the extracellular matrix, which runs through the whole body. And it used to be that people thought, well, it was here or it was there, but they didn't realize that it was a kind of knitted blanket that went through the whole body. It seeps through. So it's not really a fast river like the bloodstream. You couldn't even think maybe it's a slow river like the lymph, but rather it's like a lively marshland. Lots going on in it, but very slow seeping, creeping of this interstitial fluid. And so it's the space between the cells, between the muscles, between the organs. It was first kind of recently, there was people noticing the tattoo ink got down through the skin, through the interconnective tissue, into this extracellular matrix. And that was part of the clue. These connections were there that people didn't realize. And then in inflammatory bowel disease, there was connections between the intestines and the liver and the bile duct that people thought, well, how's it getting there? And so again, pushing towards this new kind of discovery of the interstitial system, or interstitium, you can call it. It's made up of collagen and a sponge-like gel. So this is from the New York Times, and it's an old-fashioned way of showing, but the white is the collagen, and it has 1/6 the strength of steel. So it's part of our tensile strength that holds us up. And then within that is a sponge-like cell. It's a watery matrix that has some hyaluronic acid in it, which is what sometimes they shoot into knees. They give you a shot of hyaluronic acid. So this is very slowly seeping through. It transports things between the bloodstream and the cells. So it's coming out of the ends of the capillaries as they come down from the heart, and then goes in, 90% of it goes back into capillaries as they come up to the heart. Meanwhile, it's affecting cells and carrying nutrients, carrying other products, taking care of toxins and waste products from the cells, much like lymph does. It's also carrying things to the cells like hormones and enzymes, neurotransmitters. So it's doing some important work that we didn't even know was happening. It carries larger proteins that the bloodstream can't handle. And it also affects the immune cells that are in this space between the cells. So one of those is called mast cells. There's also T cells, others. But when the interstitial fluid rubs by those mast cells, it affects them so that they degranulate, they open up, and things that are needed, such as histamines, come out of those. So it affects all cells along the way by that shear stress on the membranes. So there's lots I don't understand. It sounds like the scientists are just beginning to understand this too. But the movement of it is very important. And today we're turning to Qigong because there is now some, although not definitive, scientific proof that the meridians that run from, let's see, there's a little map here that tells us about the meridians. You're getting a lot of reflection, aren't you? But they run, for example, the liver meridian runs from the foot up through the leg, up to the liver. Or the heart meridian runs from the hand up through the arm and into the heart. And so this pathway through the area between the cells is likely the pathway that is being stimulated by the needles that are put in acupuncture, or the pressing in acupressure. And this research says that as the needle twirls, it twirls some of that collagen, and that changes the microenvironment of that space between the cells and the flow of the interstitial fluid. And it also stimulates the action in relation to the mast cells. So it stimulates immune activity. So all of this seemed very interesting and pertinent to what we are attempting to do. So today we'll start with some deep breathing, because this interstitial fluid is much like the lymph system. It doesn't have a heart to pump it. It's even slower, right? It's a lively marshland. So we think of it as being inspired to move by our muscle contractions, our slow rhythmic movements, and our deep breathing. Today we're going to start with Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. So bring a fist, bring up the peace sign, bring those two fingers down, and bring the other fingers up so that your thumb comes to your right nostril and your ring finger is going to come to the left nostril. Pressing on the right nostril, inhaling from the bottom of the abdomen up through the nostril on the left side. Maybe a little pause, and then shifting, so ring finger against left nostril, exhaling down the right side. Inhaling from lower abdomen up through the nostril. Shifting and exhaling down the left side. This is a calming breath. And the next time you exhale from the left side, let that be the last time. And then bringing hands down, just breathing up the central Shushumna, the central channel. And this theory comes from Ayurvedic medicine, ancient India people from India, sensing that similar movement to the meridians, right? And encouraging that up on either side of the body, but also recognizing this central channel. Breathing up and down the spine a few times. We come to our poem by Rilke, which ties mind and body together so beautifully. So never doubt that as we move, we are stimulating our rivers to move, our marshlands to move, and also our brains and creativity to relax and come forth. May what I do flow from me like a river, the way it is with children, no forcing, no holding back. Then in these swelling and ebbing currents, these deepening tides moving out, returning, I will sing you as no one ever has, streaming through widening channels into the open seas. So I hope our movement today opens up mind, body, emotions, creativity. Let's bring our arms into cactus. Let the elbows come back just a little bit. Then bring the arms straight forward with fingertips meeting and pressing into each other, little arch in the back. Inhale into cactus, breathing into the open chest. And then stretching forward, exhaling. Beginning to move the core area of the body. Encouraging blood, lymph, and this interstitial fluid to flow. One more time. And bring one hand to one side, other one reaches up and over. Keep a nice long spine as you reach up as well as over, not coming over too far. Reaching up on the other side. So opening that side of the body, connective tissue opening. But as the connective tissue opens, we now have a much livelier picture in our minds of what is going on in that connective tissue. Capillaries, little lymph vessels, and this collagen and sponge-like gel moving all through that. And one last time, and come back down. Bring one hand over to the opposite thigh and turn on that side. The other hand is back behind. Always on twists, be on the sits bone coming forward just a little bit long through the spine. Arms come wide, come around. Hand goes to the other thigh, opposite. And one more time, wide, and a twist. And wide, and a twist. Let's bring our legs out in front of us, wide, and turn the ankles. Making some space there in the joints. What's amazing is that all of these moves we do during yoga and all Qigong when we bring it in are all making space, literally, and making flow within our bodies. So we kind of have to have faith in that, but I do have faith that that is happening. That's why we all feel so good when it's over. If it works for you to bend a knee and bring it up, foot inside inner thigh, walk the fingers forward, bring the hand of the extended leg over to that leg, other hand reaches up a bit behind you, gaze reaches up, inhale up, and exhale over. Gaze can remain outwards just to the side, or the chin might turn down towards the leg. Either one is fine, or you might experiment with both. A little bit different stretches. So bringing the whole torso, the whole core of the body into movement here. And then coming back, changing legs, walking hands out. Hand of the extended leg on that leg, other arm up, gaze up, little stretch here and pause, and then over. Inhale up, exhale over. One more time. Then just keep that one extended leg out, bring it straight in front of you. Other foot comes up, maybe inside the thigh, perhaps on the other side of the thigh. The opposite arm from the bent leg brings hand or forearm, you judge, make it yours. How much range do you want in that hip joint, or do you have in that hip joint? Other hand comes behind as a kickstand. The extended legs, ankle flexes, so a little pull out through that heel. Come forward on the sits bones, long through the spine. Inhale, exhale, round through the lower ribs. Just about 50 to 60% of what you could do. Inhale up, exhale, round through the top ribs. Inhale up and exhale, round through the chin. Let the breath come up and down that central channel. Central channel physiologically, central channel energetically, subtly through the body. And then releasing and letting go. Extend the other leg out, flexing that ankle. Other foot comes up and over. Wrap hand or forearm, just as suits the body. Very aware of limitations and possibilities of the body. Forward on sits bones, long through the spine. And then that inhale and the lower ribs exhale. Inhale. And upper ribs. Inhale and chin. Stay long. Breathe through the spiraling of the spine. Release. Keep both legs out, straight out in front of you together. Little bend in the knees. Bring the hands down the legs. They can be on thighs or knees or down on the shins. And come forward with the chest towards the toes. Pause there for a moment. Feel that stretch. Where do you feel it? Relax down through the shoulder blades. So shoulders are not where you should be feeling this. They can be relaxed and let go. But do you feel it down through the sacrum and the lower back? Not so much in the back of the legs. That's not really the point here. Inhale, exhale, and as you bring a C shape to the spine, bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, chest goes towards the toes. We're still at a diagonal with our torso. Exhale, C shape, a little arch through the back. Inhale, chest towards toes, long through the spine. Exhale, little arch. Come back to the chest to the toes posture so your spine is straight as you bring yourself back up. And we'll finally come into windshield wiper legs for our warm-up. Opening up through the hips, back and forth, feet are wide. Slowly or a little faster as the spirit moves you. And as you sense what feels good for those hip joints. Let the mind be in those hip joints. And just asking them and listening. They'll respond in their own way. And come round with your arm, opposite arm coming to the opposite corner of the room in the back. And then coming round, a slow movement. A little pause as you stretch back towards the corner of the room in the back behind you. And so now we're opening up down through the legs as well and the arms. It's becoming more of a whole body movement here. Next time you come over, come down into a whole body twist. You might be on your hands or your forearms. Head may or may not come down on the back of the hands. And relaxing, breathing. Breathing through that central channel, opening it up. Relaxing through the feet, through the hands, so that the breath is generously moving through the whole body. And pressing into the hands and coming over to the other side. And coming up through middle. We'll remove any props you have for your sitting, and we'll come to a standing position, which we will be in for the rest of the time. We're going to be standing for the rest of the time, but if you have a chair near, we have some breathing postures during our practice, and you're always welcome to just sit down and rest for a little while you do these. This is the lovely effect of Zoom yoga. We're together, we're a community, and yet we have our own privacy and we do what we need to do for our bodies. So we're coming into the lung meridian, and this idea that the meridian is going to open up that interstitial fluid flow. The lung meridian starts down in the thumb. So you might press your fingers on either side of the nail of the thumb and just press there, particularly on the outer side. That's the beginning of the lung meridian. Then let's bring our hands up to the top of the left lung under the collarbone, pressing and rubbing a little bit in the what I call the eye of the shoulder there. There's several acupressure points there for the lungs. And then tapping down the arm to the thumb, tapping back up mid-chest. 2 more times, down and up and down and up. Then bring your fingers down to the inside of the elbow, the eye of the elbow. Find the center of the eye of the elbow, a little bend in the elbow, and then come up halfway between the center and the top of that elbow area and press there. And you might be pressing with your thumb, kind of digging in and down a little bit, or it might be index or middle finger. A pressure point there that stimulates what in Chinese medicine is called Qi in the lungs, and then coming down the inner side of the arm, coming down in between the thumb and the index finger, putting an index finger on one side and thumb on the other of that area back in where it's still squishy, and rubbing there or pressing. And in Chinese medicine, the lungs are connected with the large intestines. And this is particularly indicated for the health of the large intestines. So fun to learn these things, and you can come back to them. And then let's come to the other side. So we're coming out here to the eye of the shoulder once again on the right side and pressing. And there's several points there, so just rubbing around in that area. I understand you're sure to hit some of them, my teacher says. And then let's tap down this right arm to the thumb and up across to the mid-chest, under the collarbone. And one more time, stimulating that flow of the meridian and the interstitial flow. And then coming down to the eye of the elbow, finding the center, coming up about halfway and pressing there. And as you press, just the slightest bit of a circle, a little bit of movement. Then coming down the inner arm towards the thumb and finding that large intestine point, really getting down in there between the index finger and the thumb. And as you do it, relax through the jaw, through the eyes, through the shoulders, and down into the large intestines. Everything becomes more effective when you let go, because that too is allowing things to flow. There's a sound that is associated with the lungs that exhales and lets out toxins and emotions, in this case considered to be of grief or sadness, that are ready to be let go. And this is where you bring your hands in front of the lungs, inhale, exhale, as hands lift and eyes lift, keep the eyes open, and we say, "Sss," that sound of a snake. You might not be able to hear it on Zoom. Sss. Inhale in front of the lungs. Exhale, eyes and hands upwards. Sss. The sound of a snake. Inhale. and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now bring the arms down. Hands come out in front, palms up. Then we're going to curl the fingers in, from the little fingers in. Curl them in, elbows come back, knees bend, hands are forward on either side of the lungs, and a big exhale, clearing the lungs and spreading the arms out, and then straightening the legs and bringing the hands down to the side. Hands come out in the front, palms up, curl, knees bend, and to the sides. Hands come out in front, curl, and one last time. And bring it down. Now bring the hands hovering in front of the lungs, cross the wrists. Everything hovers in front of the lungs. Inhale wide. Exhale, come back to that crossing of the wrists. And 2 times, as if the hands were breathing the lungs. Inhale and exhale. Hands coming forward just a bit. We'll do it 3 or 4 times actually, with the inhale of the lungs and the exhale. Arms come wide. Hands hover in front. Inhale and exhale. Wide in front of lungs. Hands breathing the lungs. One last time. Much as the world actually does breathe our lungs. Now arms come wide, and this time come back behind, so forearms along the waist in the back. Inhale wide. Exhale, feeling the lower back lungs. Inhale wide. And then keeping them here, exhale, and stay here with your arms behind your waist as you inhale and exhale, and feel that air coming into the lower lungs. Our lungs are as big as half a tennis court when spread out. So there's lots there that we maybe don't use all the time. One more time, wide, and then back behind. And an inhale and an exhale there. Now bring the weight into the right foot. Left foot comes forward a little bit outwards and over towards the corner of the room. Weight is in the back foot. That knee bends a bit. Arms come up, opening up to the sky. Weight comes forward onto that front foot as wrists cross and come down to any point along the leg, down towards the sea. Weight comes back, open to the sky. Exhale, weight comes forward, down to the sea. All that fresh ocean atmosphere coming in to the lungs. Bring it up, bring that foot in, and now the left foot becomes the back foot and right foot the front. Inhale up, weight comes forward, down to the sea. Core and limbs all moving together. Moving with the energies of the universe all around us and the energies of this planet so strongly expressed in the ocean. And come up through center. Now bring the feet a little wider. And knees are going to be bending here, so our hips, more than the emphasis on the knees, think of your hips coming out to the back a bit. We're going to have a bow, as in bow and arrow, in our hands. We'll have one hand bring the string of the bow back and the other push the bow, the wood of the bow, let's imagine the wood of the bow forward as our knees bend. Back of the hands with soft fists come together. You can straighten your knees here or you can keep them bent. So opposite side, string, pushing out the bow, and that hand that's pushing out the bow has a large L between the index finger and the thumb, and stretch that out a little bit. That's good for the opening of the meridian, good for our flow, seeping through our vast marshlands within the body. With the exhale, if you are moved to let an arrow of something good go out into the world, feel free to do so. And one last time on this side. And coming back, feet are perhaps a little wider or just under the hips. Bring the hands in front of you, in front of the chest. The thumbs are facing each other, the tips of the thumbs. The hands are at about 45 degrees forward. Index fingers point towards each other, and let them become the strong fingers as the thumbs, middle ring, and little finger relax. What are we doing here? We are holding the moon, the full moon. So holding that radiance of the full moon, the energy of the full moon as it turns the tides in our hands. Holding our own energies that we bring from birth and gather as we go. All the possibilities of the creative force that goes into art and every practice we have in daily life. Two more breaths here. And we'll come to the kidneys. So rub behind the waist where your kidneys are. And this is, there's a kidney meridian and a bladder meridian, so you might run down the middle just a bit there as well. The animal of the kidney meridian is the bear. So feet are a little wider than hip width apart. We imagine that we have a branch of berries that we're stripping, and hands come up to one side at the shoulder. Knees bend as we strip those berries off, and there's a kind of twist from the shoulder down towards the hip. The sound of this area is chew. It's a very vibrating sound that perhaps we can feel back into our kidneys. So knees bend, hands come up to the waist, strip those berries with a chew, vibrating back. Inhale up. Other side, chew. Inhale up. Alternating sides, chew. Shoo. Shoo. Let that really resonate through your body. Shoo. Shoo. One last time. Shoo. The kidneys are, perhaps understandably, the center of the water element in the meridian practice. So we'll do a mild back bend here. Come up overhead and then dangle down in a forward fold. Come back up, hands come to the kidneys and rub there. Then rub down across the buttocks, down the back of the legs, the bladder meridian, across the ankles and up the inside legs, the kidney meridian, up onto the abdomen, around. And then that mild back bend once again. Hands up overhead, forward fold dangle, just lightly. Coming back up, rub the kidneys, down the backs of the legs, across, up the inner legs, mild back bend, overhead, standing straight. Hands dangle down, come up, hands behind the kidneys, rub, down the backs of the legs, up the insides of the legs, into the mild back bend, straighten forearms up, forward fold, coming up, rub the kidneys, down across buttocks, backs of the legs, and up the inside of the kidney meridian. Just stand here for a moment and feel any tingling, aliveness, flow in the body. And now we're going to become deer. The deer forms are good for the lungs, but they're even better for the kidneys. So when we are deer, we have hooves with fingers and thumb together, and we have antlers with the index finger and little finger up. And then later for the female deer, we have the fists on either side of the head. At this point, we're having hooves and we're having antlers. Bring the weight into the right foot, left foot comes forward, over towards that corner. There's a bend in the back leg and your weight is on the back leg. Bring the hooves, fingers and thumbs together, over to the right side. Weight comes forward onto that front foot. Antlers come up and over the body. One stays up, curved above the head. The other one points back at the heel, the opposite heel in the back. And if that heel can stay down, that's great, but do what your body needs to do. Bring it up and over. Weight comes into the back foot and back into hooves. Bring the front foot back foot becomes the front foot, hooves to the opposite side of that front foot. Weight comes forward, antlers come up and over, and twist back. Whole body engaged here as the antlers point back at that heel. Inhale up, weight comes back to hooves. Foot comes back, other foot comes forward, weight comes forward, antlers up and over. Oops, I did that wrong. I had my hooves on the wrong side. So the hooves need to be on the opposite side of the front leg. And then up and over and back. Other foot comes forward, hooves on the opposite side of the front leg. Weight comes forward, up and around, antlers pointing back at that back leg. So for a moment here, as we continue, imagine yourself a deer. Switch the hooves, other foot comes forward. We have a number of young male deer around us with those velvety antlers, which are quite lovely. They get caught in the branches sometimes. they are a little bit lonely. Sometimes with another doe, sometimes with another buck, but often by themselves. I feel for them a bit. They're adapting to their new life as adult males. And back. Now we'll come into the does, the female deer, with fists on either side of the head. Again, weight into one foot and the other foot comes forward. So let's all get in this together. So the right foot is back, the left foot is forward. Back foot is bent. As the weight comes in to the front foot, the right hand comes to the hip and the head and shoulders turn back to check out, to listen, to smell, to look. That great deer pause that we see. And then bringing the weight back, the hand of the extended leg reaches down that leg, just rubs down that leg as far as works for you. And bringing it back up. Ears, other foot comes forward, weight comes forward, hand opposite the front leg comes to the hip, turn around and look in that direction, listening. Bring the weight back, the coast is clear, come down to have some delicious fresh grass. And come back up, bring that foot in, ears, weight into the back foot, other foot forward, weight comes into the front foot, opposite side for the hip, and turn, smell. Weight comes back, rub down that leg. Imagine having that whole abundance of the earth to chew on. Bring that foot back. Other foot comes forward, ears, weight comes forward, hand comes to opposite hip. Look. Come back on the back foot, rub down that front leg, come up and back, and bring the hands to the side. And once again, letting go through cheeks and tongue, down the back of the neck, down to the sacrum, the belly, down through legs, into the soft earth or the soft sand underneath you. Allowing flow to occur through all the organs of the body, the emotions, the thoughts, just the flow of the body. And now we come to the liver meridians and gallbladder meridians. Bringing the hands here underneath the right ribs, and just being aware, letting the liver know, okay, this is your turn. The sound for the liver is shh, as in, please be quiet. And the arms come up, palms come up, and lean over towards the liver side, the right side. Inhale up, bring hands down in front of the liver. Exhale, let everything go. Inhale up, exhale over. Keep the eyes open, letting toxins come out, as well as the emotion of anger or resentment, which might harbor in the liver. Reaching up, palms up, interlaced fingers, and over and back up with the sh sound. Inhale to liver. No, exhale to liver. Whichever way you want to do it. It can go both ways, actually. I think we want to exhale when we come up and over so that the eyes are open, the toxins, the unhelpful emotions are getting out. And then when we come down, we want to inhale. And exhale as arms rise. Feel that exhale all the way down through the bottom of the foot. And one last time, inhale, liver. Exhale. Now feet come wider than hip width apart. Elbows come back behind the waist a little bit and they're bent. And we have soft fists pointing upwards. Knees are bent, so hips are out to the back a bit of a squat here. The right hand can pull back through the elbow as the left hand reaches out and the eyes follow that punch forward. I forgot to say that as that arm comes out, the fist turns over and punches out. And then straighten the legs, inhale up, exhale, left elbow comes back, right hand with the punch, the fist turned over, all the concentration into that effort of the punch. This is called punching with an angry gaze to increase strength. I think of it also as a way to calm and control the anger energy and let it become active in a constructive way, constructive, conscious way. It also moves the stagnant liver chi and lets the toxins come out from liver activity. And now let's bring our arms in a circle in front of the chest. Fingers are wide, and there's this nice circle we're making of energy emanating from the heart, coming around the hands, through the fingers. We can feel with all the nerves in our hands so exquisitively all of the nerve feelings of the hands, and that feeling can come back through the arms and back into the chest. Let the middle fingers and the ring fingers point towards each other. The little fingers are down a bit, and then there's a kind of big C that is made with a slight curve in the index finger and the thumbs. This is a very alive pose. However, shoulders are relaxed, chin is relaxed, belly is relaxed, and feet are relaxed. The energy right here through the hands, back through the arms, those inner eyes of the elbows, into the shoulders, relaxing down through shoulder blades. Energy in heart and lungs. All the organs defending and backing each other up. Kidneys and liver, heart, lungs, stomach, spleen, pancreas. Two more breaths here. And then bringing our hands in front of the heart, hovering in front of the heart a bit. The sound here is ha, H-A-W, ha. Feet might come a little bit wider apart and some bounce in the hips and knees. Interlace the fingers, bring them up overhead, and now come over to the left, because your heart's on the left side, with that ha. Eyes are open, slightly lifted. Inhale hard. And exhale. Inhale hard. Stimulating that meridian that runs down to the little fingers, down through the lower inner arms. Inhale hard. One last time, letting go some of the hurriedness and arrogance that the heart can harbor. Now bringing feet a little wider than hip width apart. Again, hips are going to come out to the back. Hands are on the thighs above the knees. Turn the heart so that it is above the right knee. Then bring it forward, kind of over the right knee, across from right knee to left knee, or right thigh to left thigh, and come up, looking out from the left now. So heart is turned to the left. Inhale and exhale, forward, tracing that back from left to right and up. Inhale and exhale, down, across and over, eyes lifting up to the horizon. We're in the horse stance here. And I always like to imagine myself as horses, as a horse, free to run without a rider. When I was down at the Klamath River, there are wild horses down there. We were doing yoga outside, and 3 horses came over the ridge of a nearby hill and ran down it. It was so lovely. So imagine yourself a horse free to run here. This is all actually called nod the head and wag the tail to calm the heart fire. One last time, forward, across, and up, down, across, and up. Bring the feet together. Maybe you sit down after this. So either sitting or standing. Let's fly just a little bit, a minute of flying before we close today. Bringing the weight into a foundation leg, strong, rooted, lifting up through the body and settling back down. The toe might stay on the mat, or the knee might lift, arms come out, cranes. The crane is the body of the heart meridian, and flying in whatever manner works for you. Even if you're sitting and flying, that's great. Just get into the feeling of flying through the clouds, through the heat of the day, through the breezes of the evening. Slow or as fast as you would like. And bringing down that foot, bring the weight into the other foot. Feel the bottom of the foot, really root down, lift up through the body, and settle that back down. Elbows are loose and wrists are loose as they come up. You might be on your toe or your knee might lift. And please, fly. One more time. And steadying both feet underneath the hips, and perhaps you're in a chair, that's fine. Inhale, palms up, gathering in all the energies of sea and sky and land, trees, plants, animals, all around us. And then keeping the hands wide, hovering around the body, slowly coming down, welcoming those energies into brain and eyes, nose and ears and mouth, into neck, washing down through that interstitial area between the cells of lungs and heart, between the cells of the stomach and the liver, kidneys and bladder and intestines. Inhale up, gathering. Again, slowly letting those energies wash through, washing out toxins, any fear or ego-driven feelings that might not be necessary anymore. Letting go. And one last time. Completely letting those energies actualize the body, the self. Filling all those spaces between the cells, the marshlands of the body. And coming to Namaste. May what we do this week flow from us like a river, the way it is with children. No forcing, no holding back. Namaste. Thanks for practicing today.